I feel like
And this
weird
man
shit's happening on
sneaking through the bushes
Patreon.
has his eye on them. Jenny is working the night shift at a cash depot in Sweden. She's counting banknotes.
I'll be more
tons
organized
of
with this
money.
next time I do it.
But by now, it's just pieces of paper to her.
Probably.
Routine, really. Just like these headphones she and the others are wearing to block out the noise. But suddenly, a new sound starts to creep in. Wait, is that a helicopter? This is the beginning of one of the most spectacular bank heists in history. Robbers will strike several locations across Sweden at the exact same time. The police will be outmatched, the authorities humiliated, and millions in cash will be stolen. The chase will lead investigators to Eastern Europe. And, of all things, the security camera at a local McDonald's will provide a crucial clue. We dug through countless court documents to piece together how the Vestberga heist actually went down, and who was really behind it.
I love this guy's videos, by the way. Jesus, I don't remember them being so hype, though. Is this new for him? Yeah, 1 day ago. Wow. Nice. I kind of want to know what that song was now.
2009. Spectacular robberies.
His
in
intros
Sweden
are
have been
usually
making
really
headlines
chill.
for several years now, but this heist tops everything. As the international press turns its attention to the small town of Vestberga, the authorities are clueless.
This video
How
is
much money
in
was
2K
stolen?
and it was
How many
blurry, so
robbers
it's
were
not me.
involved? And why couldn't the police stop them? According to a Swedish daily newspaper, police didn't reach the cash depot until 30 minutes after the alarm was triggered. Meanwhile, the nearest police station is only a 15-minute walk away. What happened? Official statements are vague. The security company that owns the cash depot stays quiet too. G4S is one of the largest security firms in the world. They install security systems and protect sites such as nuclear power plants in the US and even the Pentagon. Right before the end of the month, depots like this one are packed with cash, so people across Sweden can withdraw their salaries the moment the money arrives. A pretty good time to strike. So far, only one thing is clear. This is the first robbery in Sweden to use a helicopter, a Bell 206. It's a relatively small, light chopper, one of the best-selling models ever. It can carry 5 people, including the pilot, but it isn't built for heavy loads. A well-known Swedish criminologist speculates that the robbers could have stolen up to 1 billion kroner from the depot. Back then, about $130 million. Helicopter experts, on the other hand, say that carrying that much cash, it should have crashed. So how the hell did they pull this off?
I feel like I remember this heist.
September 23, the early morning hours. Mittinge,
But
a
obviously
small
not
town
from him
known for its
because this
sea
was
views and
early.
peaceful atmosphere, is asleep. Alongside holiday homes, the town also has a hangar, housing these 2 helicopters. They belong to the Stockholm police. And this man sneaking through the bushes has his eye on them. Under each arm, he's carrying a plastic box. The man places the first box in front of the hangar. Then he moves to the back and places the second one. Then he returns to the hangar's entrance and pulls out a hatchet. He smashes the numbered entry pad
What
several
gives
times.
people the fucking courage to
Finally,
do stuff like this?
he disappears back into the darkness.
Like, I get it, bro. We love
then,
money, but this is ridiculous.
Nothing happens. The man walks to the nearest bus stop and gets rid of his gear. His part of the job is done. Now it's up to the others. Back at the depot. Down
My
here,
ears.
Jenny and her colleagues are counting cash. Up here, a Bell 206 barrels toward the building. With remarkable precision, it lands on the roof, perfectly positioned between the glass pyramid and the edge. 3 people jump out.
A bank had glass
One
on
is
their
carrying a
roof.
submachine gun. Another runs straight toward the
I remember
pyramid
them
and swings a
cutting through
huge
roofs, but
sledgehammer at the glass.
I thought they
Again
broke through the
and
roof
again.
with like tools and shit.
Meanwhile,
I mean, yeah,
his
they're using
accomplice
tools, but it's
calmly unloads his
glass.
gear. Explosives.
Bro, have you ever
climbing
watched a
ropes,
bank heist
and
movie
mailbags.
ever? It's
2
always
ladders
a
are
glass
attached to the
ceiling.
helicopter's skids.
Why would a bank
The
put
robbers
glass on the
detach
ceiling?
one of them and set it down beside the chopper. After a few more swings, the glass gives way. The helicopter lifts off. The robbers enter the building. Jenny's boss spots them. He knows they're coming for the counting room, so he rushes back and yells,
Secure the money.
Then he triggers the alarm and calls building security. Jenny still doesn't fully clock what's going on, but her boss's instructions are clear. The cash has to be locked away in these cages made of reinforced steel secured with padlocks. It's still quiet at the police station, about a 10-minute drive from Vestberga. Inspector Göran Palm is about to finish his shift. He's waiting for his colleague to take over. When suddenly, the alarm sounds. Immediately, Inspector Palm rushes to his car. A colleague jumps in after him. They're told that the alarm came from the G4S cash depot. Helicopter, armed
I was
men
thinking, like,
on
what
the
if
roof.
she, like,
Palm speeds toward the scene.
locked herself
He
in that
feels like he's
cage
starring in a
so they
Hollywood
couldn't
movie.
make her open it?
Soon,
But she's
they're
stuck
closing
in
in
there
on the depot
until someone
when
opens
Palm
it for
spots
her?
something on the road.
So
The
then
officers
she
jump
can't
out of the
become a
car to
hostage?
find out what
Is
just
that
happened.
viable?
Chains stretched across the entire road and
Can't take
studded
me or
with
the money. I'm in
spikes.
the cage.
The robbers are inside the building now. They set up a ladder to climb up to the 6th floor. The main vault where the money is usually stored is on the 2nd floor, but the counting room is up here. To get there, this glass pane needs to go. Hitting it with a sledgehammer doesn't work, so the robber uses explosives. He presses a bomb made of dynamite against the glass, connects a wire, and detonates it.
Huh?
They enter the office and smash through this simple door.
Yeah, but
Now, just a
How would you
single
kill her?
steel door separates the robbers from the
she
cash
has nothing
depot
of value
staff.
to you.
In the counting room, the staff is still frantically securing the money. When they hear
But
the
why,
explosion,
babe? You have to
they
have a
panic.
motive for murder.
The team
You know,
leader
you
has
don't
been
just
trained
do
for a
it.
lot of things,
I
but
hope.
not for this.
I hope you wouldn't want blood
Then
all
there's
over
another
your money.
explosion. The robbers are trying to get through the door. The explosion mangles the
Like,
metal
yeah,
around
she
the
can be
handle,
shot, but the
but it
point is
stays
that you
intact.
can't make her open the cage.
But after a
Stuck in
third
the cage.
explosion, smoke enters the room. The staff needs to get out of here, fast. The team leader orders everyone into the main vault on the 2nd floor. They leave the room through a secondary exit, take the stairs down several floors, and enter an airlock just outside the main vault. The airlock is designed for one person. Now
Oh my
14
God.
people have to squeeze inside, including a pregnant woman.
Why would they make
In this
the
hermetically
vault-
sealed room,
I mean, the
there's no cell
airlock
reception.
only for one
The
person.
group leader can't call building security
The CEO
or
got a
anyone
little
else.
hideaway room.
And the door to the vault won't open. They're stuck. Their colleagues in the vault
Oh,
room
that's what
are
I
also
just said.
panicking.
I said, what if
Building
they lock
security has
themselves in a
instructed them to
cage?
keep the
The
airlock
fucking
door
airlock
closed.
is
They have no visual
is
on the
sealed.
robbers.
They can't get out.
Maybe they're even hiding
They're
among
stuck
the
in there.
employees in the
That's
airlock.
exactly what I said. What if you
It's
do
so
that?
cramped in here that no
Because then
one
they
can
can't make
move.
you open it. That's
The air
genius.
is stuffy,
I
the heat
knew
almost
it.
unbearable. Yenny's colleague struggles to pull out a photo of her daughter. If the
Oh.
robbers want to get into the vault by blowing their way through the airlock,
How do they know that
no one
easy?
here will survive. Meanwhile, the robbers have entered the counting room. They
I don't
carve
remember
into
all
the
these
cage's
details.
padlocks with a buzzsaw. The locks are gone within seconds.
Damn.
While they're
they got that
packing,
cake.
they seem oddly calm, as if they know that no one will catch them anytime soon.
Locks only stop innocent
Robbing
people.
a place is a pretty unethical way to make money. But let's look at this list real quick.
Robbing
Rural and
people is
barely
a pretty
making it.
unethical way to make
For
money.
this one, ethnic
Duh.
second city strugglers. Or our personal favorite, credit crunched city families. These are real marketing lists, full of vulnerable people to be targeted by predatory ads. Hey,
I
we heard you
knew.
broke. Worried about
When he
securing
said
your
that
kid's
shit,
future?
I
How
knew
about
it
you
was
try
an
some
ad.
gambling? Data the QR code to get started. The spiked chains Palm drove into aren't the only ones. All around the depot, every access road is blocked by metal chains about 10 meters long. If a police car drove over one of these chains, its tires would instantly be sliced open. The robbery's been in progress for more than 15 minutes now. The helicopter's still circling above, meaning the robbers are still inside. Police request aerial support from the military, but the armed forces can't provide any aircraft. Instead, police helicopters are ordered in. We don't know exactly how, but Inspector Palm eventually gets close to the depot. He sets up a roadblock a few hundred meters away from the building. When Palm and his colleagues ask whether they're allowed
Oh my
to
God,
fire
the
at the
light's not
helicopter,
on.
the answer is a strict no.
This thing is still
It's
tracking
too
me.
dangerous.
The
Instead,
light off.
they're ordered to wait for the National Task Force.
Kind of struggling
Palm
a
is
little
frustrated.
bit. But it's
All he
tracking.
can do is stand there and wait.
What the fuck is that?
The police helicopter must already be on its way.
I might have to move that for food break.
Well,
But thank you, Menace.
H20_Menace
At
hasn't
5:30
blinked
in the
in
morning,
10 months.
Police officers
Double
admitting and
18
receiving
star
an alert.
march, double
Robbery
18 star
ongoing. A
march,
helicopter
double
is
18
involved.
star
Air
march,
support
10 months of
required.
tutoring my favorite
2
protege,
officers raced
double
toward the
18
hangar.
star march,
Their
double
helicopter was
18 star
returned
march,
just
double
hours earlier.
18 star march.
They'll have it ready in 10 minutes and be over Vestberga 15 minutes after the alarm. But at the entrance, they stop.
Thank you.
Is
I
that
appreciate
a
the resub
bomb?
minutes.
There's no way they can reach the helicopter. And even if they could they really risk taking off in a fuel-filled helicopter next to explosives? The two officers have only one option: call in the bomb squad and wait at a safe distance. So the White Bell 206 keeps circling above the cash depot, unbothered. The security team watches as the intruders reappear in the courtyard and make their way toward the roof, carrying at least 7 bags. They hoist them up. The 3 men climb the ladders.
I saw that thing like
one
throw
hesitates for a
me. I don't know
moment,
what that was.
as if he wants to go back in to get more of the money.
What?
Then they jump into the helicopter, bags in hand. And just 30 minutes after hitting the cash depot, they disappear into the morning sky. When the SWAT team enters the building, the robbers are long gone. Finally,
it's
the airlock
bank
door
heist
in
of
the cash
century
depot
by
opens.
Fern.
The team leader, Yenny, and her colleagues are safe.
They're
At the
robbing
police
this bank.
hangar
They got in
Michigan,
through the
the
ceiling.
bomb squad is in full swing. They use a water.
Just for you to catch up real quick, they put a bomb outside of a police hangar helicopter thing, like where they kept their helicopters, which is smart because see they have helicopters and they're using a helicopter to get on top of a bank. Broke the glass on top of the bank and they dropped in all the employees, money in one case, and then locked themselves in an airlock that's only made for one person. One person. I don't know why. I don't know why the airlock's made for one guy. The CEO was like, look, I know I'm rich, but I only got enough spare change for a one-man airlock. So 14 employees all locked themselves in this one-person airlock. Shit, I lost track of everything. Oh, the bomb was so that the cops would spend time trying to disarm this bomb. And I don't even think the bomb was real. They just did it to buy some time, which obviously
cannon to neutralize the bombs.
You're caught
but
up.
There are no explosions and no smoke. As the special unit approaches, they find 2 very wet plastic boxes with lights attached. They fell for dummies.
Much better tracking
Meanwhile,
with the light on.
about a kilometer away, firefighters are putting out a small roadside fire at a bus stop. In the ashes, they find remains of a mask, gloves, a hatchet, a canister, and a lighter. Around 6
Why would he
a.m.,
leave
people
the
in nearby
gloves?
towns spot an object in the sky. A small white helicopter flying unusually low and slow over the forests. Not a single light is on. The robbers land
Isn't
in
the
a
point of the
forested
gloves
park.
to keep the
They
gloves so
take
the stuff
everything
in the
with
gloves
them, leaving
isn't
only a
in the hands of the
GPS
cops?
device and a few cable ties
Just
behind.
packaged up your DNA for them.
Investigators find the helicopter
Like,
about
right?
2 hours later. They learn it was stolen from a flight school about 70 kilometers northeast of Stockholm just after 4 a.m.
A manhunt is underway this morning.
As the country wakes up, the heist dominates the news. A reward of about $900,000 is offered for information on the robbers. The next day, the Swedish police still have no suspects.
And every
Despite
time
the
I hear
fact
about the
that they
reward
knew
offered
about the
to
planned
catch somebody,
helicopter heist
I'm
long
always like,
before
bro,
it
I was
happened.
so snitch. I wish I knew where they were. I'm
A
sorry,
month
but $1
before
million
the
bucks is
heist,
$1 million.
Swedish police receive a warning from Serbia's
Sorry,
intelligence
best
service.
friend from 7th
A
grade.
crew of international thieves is planning to strike. Serbian police even share specifics. A helicopter is to be used. 3
Sure, it was
robbers
a long
will carry
time ago.
out the
I'm
job,
about to be rich.
backed by a group of around 20 people. The chopper will land on the roof of a multi-story building. The crew will blast their way inside and in under 5 minutes grab the equivalent of roughly $13 million.
This thing is
The whole thing will go down by September 16 at the latest.
fast.
If not, the plan will be called off.
Bring my plasma light.
The Swedish police put security
I think
measures
it
in
might
place. The public prosecutor authorizes phone surveillance of 2 suspects. As a precaution, police helicopters are moved from Ittinga to a safe location. For the planned
always start
break-in,
bounty
the
hunting?
police identified the
Yeah,
most
but I would
likely
have to have-
target,
I
the
don't-
Panaxia Cash Depot in Bromma, in western Stockholm. The second most likely target, the G4S Depot in Västberga. For 4 weeks, authorities remain on high alert, reinforcing their task forces during the nights around September 16. But then, nothing happens, in Bromma or in Västberga. So the police
Bounty
end the
hunters
special
have to have a
operation,
lot of free time.
and the police
I
helicopters
don't
move
like,
back
you
to
have to
Mittinga.
travel and stuff. I don't want to travel.
That's not the only vulnerability the
Vtuber.
robbers
You gotta leave my
exploit.
house.
In the early 2000s, Sweden sees a string of robberies. The companies hit hardest are the ones that run cash depots. They're looking for help, including from the government. As early as 2005,
yeah, who
a
uses
security
technology
company
anymore?
urged the government to place all cash depots in
I don't remember
similar
the last time
facilities
I've
under
used a
state
computer.
protection. A formal review followed and ran for 3 years, but the Ministry of Defense took no action. Because the authorities never classified these facilities as protected sites, virtually anyone can access the building's blueprints. Floor plans of the roofs and facades,
I got bit on my
staircases and
finger,
windows,
man. I'm tired
everything neatly documented level
winter.
by level. A Swedish news outlet later asked G4S whether the company had attempted to make the Vesberga building plans confidential. G4S didn't respond. But by then, it didn't matter. The money was gone. And so were the thieves. But they didn't vanish without a trace.
I mean, this plan that they had
In fact,
was really
they
good.
left
I'm
quite a
surprised
bit
we haven't
behind.
seen any copycats.
The burned
It was a
remains
really
at the bus stop
good
in Mittingen,
plan.
for example. The cable ties
Because you
used
can't
to
just
secure the ladders to
assume
the
the bomb is
helicopter.
fake and go get your
The
helicopter to
sledgehammer
chase
that
these
smashed
guys
the
down.
glass roof, including bloodstains. Because
You-
the
you
heist was
have
so
to deal with the
meticulously
bomb.
planned, police believe the masterminds must have had military training.
Yeah,
In all of
military
Sweden,
training makes
only
sense.
a small circle of people could be capable of pulling off a coup like this. Thanks to the warning from Serbia, the Swedish police started surveilling this circle in time. Now they're sitting on a mountain of data, calls, texts, pages upon pages of logs. One of the people under surveillance
Crime
is
is
a
the
man
second
called
oldest
Goyan
profession.
Bojevic,
Same profession.
a 38-year-old Swede
What's the
with parents from
never
Montenegro.
mind.
Until recently, he worked as a construction contractor. According to Serbian wiretaps, he was recently in contact with a childhood friend, Milan Zevo, who made a career
childhood
in a
friend, I'm
completely
telling you.
different field, the Stockholm Mafia. Zevo has since relocated to Serbia's capital, Belgrade. In 2009, Bojevic traveled to Belgrade multiple times to meet Zevo. According to the wiretap, Bojevic handed over large sums of money during these visits. Swedish police realized that Bojevic is asking Zevo for help. At the end of August, the two speak on the phone. You know what? I called a school here and asked how much it costs to learn it. 15,000 euros. Bojevic wants to learn to fly a helicopter. Zevo shuts the idea down. Pilot training would take way too long. So Bojevic starts looking into another solution.
Yeah, we should rush into the bank
September
heist.
2, 3 weeks before the heist.
Preparing
Bojevic
is
in his
way
car, driving
too much
toward
time.
Hepsolmen, the small island in
Can't
Stockholm.
be learning how to fly a
There's a
helicopter
museum
and shit.
right on the waterfront. Bojevic
We
is
gotta
here
rob
to
that
meet
bank by
these two
Sunday.
men. They've been waiting for him. He walks up to them and sits down between them. Just a few meters away, a woman walks her dog.
Oh no.
Her real job is to observe Goran Bojevic. She can't hear exactly what the men are saying.
Oh no.
She can only keep an eye on them. The three chat for about 5 minutes with Bojevic doing most of the talking. Then, handshakes. One man walks with Bojevic to his car while the other gets into a Peugeot and drives off.
So was this woman with her
On
dog
September
just
28, 5
like
days after the
standing
heist,
there?
the
Cause
police and a Swedish court announced that 6 suspects have been arrested. One of the suspects
well, they don't know
is
they're
Goran
being watched,
Bojevic.
I guess. So they
Searching
weren't
his
looking out.
apartment, investigators found a bag containing about 118,500 kroner, roughly $15,000 at the time. He's believed to have put the team together. Another man is arrested at Arlanda Airport just before he can escape to the Canary
Wait a
Islands.
minute. How did they
The
how they
press
start
nicknames
catching him?
him
Did we miss
Flick,
that?
which means escape in Swedish. His real name is Alexander Eriksson. He's a TV producer who runs in high society circles with Swedish celebrities. He's even rumored to be in contact with the Prime Minister. Between October and December,
What the hell
police
is going on
arrest
with my
7
hands?
more men accused of helping plan or taking part in the heist. One of them is believed to
hell?
have planted the fake bombs. His DNA is found in the remains of the gloves and the lighter.
Duh! Of course
In
your
January,
fucking DNA is on the
investigators identified
gloves.
the man who carried
That's
the
the whole
submachine
point of the
gun.
glove.
The police already know him.
He left
His
them.
name is Zada Kadum, and this was
How do
his
you
second
do
armed
that?
robbery. Back in 2000, he and a
Ugh.
gang stole invaluable art from the Swedish National Museum.
It always frustrates
He was
me when
caught
people
and
have such a
served 2
perfect
years in
plan and
prison.
they fuck it up at the
Now
end.
he's been caught again.
Like, I'm not saying they
In
should
July
get away with it,
2010,
but
the public
do
prosecutor
better
presses
than
charges.
that.
While the 10 arrests are seen as a major success for the investigation, authorities believe there must have been more people involved behind the snes.
Like, you used a
For over 10
helicopter and a
months, the
bomb,
Police gather evidence and interview witnesses.
and then gloves
50
is what gets you
investigators
caught?
work the case full time. By now,
So
they have a clear
disappointing. Like,
picture
they
of
have
how
look
much
at
the
that
robbers
saw,
managed to
bro.
steal.
They had
Almost 40 million
everything,
kroner,
and
about
gloves
$5
brought them
million at
down.
the time.
Usually
That's how
gloves
they
is what
managed to
saves
get
you.
away by helicopter, not taking too much. Just under a year after the robbery, the 10 men stand trial. 5 of them are accused of being directly involved in the heist. The other 5 face charges of aiding and abetting.
Bruh.
The public prosecutor is confident.
How
There's
the
enough
fuck did they
evidence to
catch the
convict
aiders
all
and
of them.
abettors?
But
Man,
the
there's
men
some
deny
snitches
the
in this
charges.
house.
Take Alexander Eriksson, the TV
That's why they're
producer.
convicts, but they
He's
weren't
accused of
convicts
flying
until
the
they were.
helicopter on the night of the heist.
They
No
should have
way
done better.
he exists.
They had a good
His
heist, man. They
DNA
had
in the
they had a
stolen
good
helicopter?
plan.
That's easily explained, he says. After all, the chopper was stolen from the flight school he's been a member of for 15 years. The undercover officer at the museum clearly identifies him as the man in the suit at the meeting with Boyevich. Eriksson admits he was at the meeting. And yes, he talked to Boyevich, but about wind power, since Boyevich works in construction. He claims to have an alibi, too. On the night of the heist, he was involved in a car
I guess
accident.
you're right, but that's
But
really
there's a
annoying.
problem. An hour after the supposed accident, he's
I guess if
spotted
they
at a
didn't get
local
caught, we wouldn't have the
McDonald's,
story,
about a
right?
30-minute walk from where the helicopter was later found. Surveillance footage shows Eriksson calmly ordering breakfast just before 7 a.m. How did he get from a car crash in central Stockholm to a McDonald's in the suburbs? The prosecution is convinced that two of the other defendants staged the crash to give him an alibi. Surprisingly, one of them, Zadok
I'm about ready to play
his
again.
involvement. Investigators found his blood on multiple pieces of evidence. The other
His
defendants
blood?
continue to deny any involvement in the heist.
What?
But after just 18 days of trial, 7 of the 10
Bro.
defendants are convicted. Alexander Eriksson and Zadok Hadhum are each sentenced to 7 years in prison for armed robbery. The
Where's my
other
lighter?
5 defendants are found guilty of aiding, abetting, and protecting criminals,
Thank you.
including Goran Boyevich, who also goes to prison. Before the trial, they were seen as daring, clever crooks. None of them were elite soldiers in the Balkan Wars, as was speculated. But the trial stripped them of their mystique.
I know.
They turned
that's what
out
this
to be
is for.
nothing more than a ragtag group of violent criminals. After the heist, heated debate broke out in Sweden over how such attacks could be prevented in the future. Trade unions spoke out. Handling cash creates a dangerous work environment for employees. So, for their protection, maybe they should just get rid of it. According to a report from the banking union, 1 in 4 retail workers had already been a victim of a robbery, some multiple times. And according to an anti-cash
1 in
lobby
4?
group, 2 out of every 3 Swedish kroner in circulation was actually unreported money. The helicopter heist in Vestberga contributed to a shift in thinking. Over time, cash gradually disappeared from daily life. Sweden was the first country in Europe to print paper money back in 1661. About 350 years later, it was one of the first to start abandoning it. The number of robberies in Sweden dropped dramatically. In 2008, there were over 100. By 2016, it was down to just 2. Today, many shops only accept cashless payment. Theft happens online now. In 2025, the Swedish Central Bank reported that Sweden and Norway had the least cash in circulation relative to their economies of any countries in the world. But some cash is still around, and someone somewhere has quite a lot of it, because the money from the Vestberga heist was never recovered.
Wait, what?
Somewhere has quite a lot of it. But some cash is still around, and someone somewhere has quite a lot of it, because the money from the Vestberga heist was never recovered.
The money was never recovered? You arrested 20 guys? You arrested 20 guys? And you got no money? Hey, yo! You mean to tell me these cops couldn't get that information out of 20 people? Was it 20 people or 10 people? It was 10 people. I'm stupid. It was 5 and 5, right, that got arrested. That's still a lot of people to not have found a single stolen dollar. These are the same guys who you found their gloves. Why didn't they hide their gloves with the money? What the fuck? Like, if they found the money, they know you stole it anyway because the banknotes have serial numbers on them. You might as well just keep some important evidence like gloves with the money. Bruh. See, this is what I mean. Like, these heists be making me so mad on both ends. The cops be doing the dumbest shit. The fucking criminals be doing the dumbest shit. Ow! Oh my god, I just did the dumbest shit. Ow! I zapped myself with this fucking plasma lighter. Ow! I didn't think it would come on. Damn it. Well, we did our first food break. We're gonna make this a series. I think I'm gonna like this.